Joey Logano getting a run on Regan Smith. Here comes Casey Kane in the 5. Ryan Sieg in that 39 car up through the middle. Jeremy Clements into the picture. All going on behind Regan Smith. Can he hang on? Will the fuel last to the finish line? Here they come to the checkers. Casey Kane on the outside lane. 3 wide to the win at Daytona. Wow, what a finish.
That was incredible. How did he do that?
Unbelievable, the move that he made right there.
One of the wildest wrecks we've ever seen at Watkins Glen was between Ryan Newman and Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell's axle even fell out of his race car after this accident. He even broke the guardrail. This is one of the wildest moments we've ever seen coming out of the carousel at Watkins Glen. NASCAR had to red flag the race for over 30 minutes just to get repairs done and cleanup done on the racetrack.
He doesn't want to be too aggressive on these tires and abuse the tires too much at this point in time. If that is indeed, they may be looking at left sides while they're getting fuel, depending on how long they're going to be out there. Yeah, that's what I would be looking
at. Oh, trouble.
Gosh, what a mark.
Ryan Newman, hard into the wall. Michael McDowell, hard into the wall.
Caution's out, caution's out.
Terrible crash.
Like not Ryan Newman overran that corner just a little bit. You see quite a few cars over there. So come back on the track. Contact between Biffle and Newman. Yes, Biffle came back on the track. Newman was right there. Got into him and hard into that guardrail and the tires. Sends him back out in the middle of the track here into McDowell.
One of the most heartbreaking moments and jaw-dropping experiences of any NASCAR fan that was a Kyle Busch fan was the 2022 Darlington Southern 500 when Busch was in the lead with 24 laps to go and his engine would expire under caution of all places. Kyle Busch's race, championship hopes, and season were over in an instant after his engine expired while leading the race.
Chris Buescher back down on the bottom of the racetrack. Kyle Larson's going to have one more shot at it, and it's going to become a cat and mouse game as you get into turn 3. Which direction to go?
Where do you go? Larson up top, all the way up top. Buescher.
He's on the outside. He's in position. He's got it.
And here comes Truex. They're going to close right to the 2 leaders. Coming to the line. Clash together. I believe Buescher.
I think you're right. It's so close.
Never in my life would I have thought I would ever witness an almost tie in a NASCAR race. Having a tie is unbelievable. You drive 267 laps to end in a tie almost. Basically it was. Kyle Larson and Chris Buescher at Kansas in 2024 in this fantastic finish and ultimately saw Kyle Larson taking home the checkered flag after barely beating Chris Buescher to the start-finish line.
That was a battle for the 12th position. Cautions breed cautions, and now we've got cautions. I think he's in 12th.
All right, I want everybody to close your eyes, and I want you to think of a driver that you just cannot stand winning a race because of how dirty he races. I bet a lot of you probably imagined Austin Dillon, and this is exactly why we're going to be showing this next clip. Austin Dillon had the dominant car at Richmond in the 2024 Richmond race. He obviously was going to win the race up until a late restart where he got passed by Joey Logano. Okay, cool. He obviously had a very fast race car and should have been able to catch Logano in the 2 laps. But unfortunately for Dillon, he overdrove the corners and lost even further ground in Logano. So what does he do? He plows through Logano entering turn 3 and then takes the lead. Nope, actually Denny Hamlin takes the lead. Nope, Austin Dillon will wreck Denny Hamlin and end up winning the race, securing his spot in the playoffs. Ultimately, for only a couple days until NASCAR revoked his spot in the playoffs because it was intent wrecking, and that is something you're not allowed to do in NASCAR. This is one of the stupidest things that Austin Dillon has ever done, and that's saying something.
He can't do it in 1 and 2. Logano looks back. He has a car length now. Joey Logano through 3 and 4 for the final time. There's the contact. He does get to him. The 11 on the inside. He gets into the wall. Dillon's going to win it at the line.
Austin's season was on the line there, but what are your thoughts on what happened down there?
It's chicken shit. There's no doubt about it. He's 4 car lengths back. Not even close. Then he wrecks the 11 to go along with it. And then he's going to go up there and thank God and praise everything with his baby. It's a bunch of BS. It's not even freaking close. I mean, dude, I get it, bump and run. I get it. I didn't back up the corner at all. He came in there and just drove through me. It's ridiculous that's the way we race. Unbelievable. I get bump and runs. I do that. I would expect it. But from 4 car lengths back, he was never going to make the corner. And then he wrecks the other car. He wrecks the 11 to go with it. So
Could. Into 3 and 4.
What
I tried to video game it.
I tell you, it looked like a video game. He just drove it in there knowing he was going to just completely tear the wall down and just stayed in the gas trying to make something happen.
He used the wall.
It's a good thing that Hamlin didn't leave the top lane opener. He would have been outside of him. Hey, you said they were building new cars.
Yeah.
On the final lap, of the 2021 Southern 500, Denny Hamlin looked to have the win in sight. Kyle Larson was a couple cars back and doesn't look like he was going to be able to do anything. But Larson, running P2, had other ideas. He was going to full throttle turns 3 and 4, get to the back bumper of Denny Hamlin, and unfortunately for Larson, he was unable to make the pass, but it made for an exciting finish for the Southern 500.
Who's going to try to make it 3 wide?
Oh, Berry's gone, and he goes up and over. Huge hit for Josh Berry. Eric Jones is involved.
Contact. The 2 was getting pushed, and as soon as that car was pushing him, got turned around and went. This is what scared me, because Josh is hanging on his belts. He's not in his seat. He's hanging on his belt and has that frontal impact. Dillon came from nowhere. See, here's the push from behind, and then it moved the 2 car up. And again, pushing gone wrong. What a violent hit. See right there, there's the push. They all stacked up, the 8, the 20. Now the one thing about that car, when it sat down on the roof, yes, look at the integrity of the roof. It's sitting there really strong. That's something this car is really good at.
The final race to make the 2024 playoffs at Daytona was unbelievable. The excitement was intense, and the racing was even more intense. Coming down to the final couple laps, it was between a couple drivers who had not even clinched a spot in the playoffs. Josh Berry, Harrison Burton, and even Austin Dillon, and even Austin Cindric, who had already had a win, but wanted more playoff points. Ultimately, it was Josh Berry with the unfortunate demise of spinning on the backstretch, tumbling upside down, spinning like a top after hitting the wall in the backstretch. Thankfully, Josh Berry was okay after this horrific accident, but this is one of the most jaw-dropping accidents we've ever seen at Daytona. Thankfully, nobody was injured, but it made for some great racing and a fantastic moment that will live on in Daytona history forever.
It's a big gap. 21 has no help right now. Who's going to get that first run? Here comes the 1.
Sam Mayer's never won in the Xfinity Series. There goes the 1 to the outside of his teammate.
Through the middle of the 21. Oh, my goodness.
Mayer is turned. He's upside down. The caution is out. And now the question becomes,
who was the leader?
Who was leading at the time of caution?
The 1 had to take the run. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what else you do.
He could have got back down right here.
Yeah. A little bit of a late block and just kind of got swiped.
See, there, I haven't seen at this point. Oh, I didn't see the 20 down there, but he's below the yellow line.
He's below the yellow line. So
I didn't even see the 20.
It looks like right here, the 7 is there.
See, that's the 21 I was thinking. I wasn't even looking down here, though.
But
I can't see the lights.
The light was on there, but that's...
I'd say it's the 21 if the yellow line rule is in effect.
Yeah.
You can't.
Starting your season off right is one of the best things to do in NASCAR. You want to carry that momentum through the winter and the summer to build yourself up until the playoffs. But starting your season off wrong, now that's unfortunate. And that is what happened to Sam Mayer when he was trying to go for the win at Daytona in 2023. Sam Mayer, driver of the 1 car, had one of the dominant cars of the evening, leading a ton of laps. Unfortunately for the one car of Sam Mayer, he would end the race upside down, spinning on his roof. Thankfully, Mayer was okay after this horrific accident, but this was fantastic to watch in person, as it was unbelievable to witness that I never thought I would see. A car spinning on the backstretch on its roof. That's pretty wild. Driver 77, Eric Jones, obviously had one of the fastest cars in the All-Star Open. He was going to make the All-Star race if he could just get around Daniel Suarez and Chase Elliott. And he tried to do so, but he miscalculated and drove right into the grass, damaging his front of his nose and causing his car to spin out and ultimately eliminate him from the All-Star race contention. Ultimately, this was a pretty stupid move by Eric Jones, but nonetheless, it was a pretty cool thing to see on TV. Jesse Iwuji is probably one of the dumbest people to have ever driven a NASCAR Xfinity car. He has been in wrecks, spinning himself, and even been in controversy. Talking about the controversy he had with Ty Gibbs when he was a lap down trying to get his lap back under caution, he wrecked the leader under caution and spun him out. Now that's something I've really never seen in NASCAR, but Jesse Iwuji did it and got black flagged for 2 laps because of how idiotic that move was on the racetrack.
Then Michael McDowell gets into the back of Dillon and get into the corner here. Oh my goodness. Just a hard lap.
Right across in front of Labonte, who backs that car into the guardrail. There comes the 77 of Hornish. He was involved. See, Ryan Newman just stopped in the 12 car.
That was a lot of really hard hits right there.
We're back at Watkins Glen for another chaotic accident, but this time it was on the front stretch. Coming out of the final corner, the 38 car got hit. Bobby Labonte was collected as he flew into the inside wall, and Sam Hornish Jr. flies right into the yellow barrels, throwing sand and debris all over the racetrack and pit road. This essentially created a roadblock, and multiple other cars got involved. NASCAR had to red flag the race, and it was just a chaotic cleanup. But honestly, the craziest story about all this is how Sam Hornish hit those yellow barrels. I will never forget that.
Improve on what is a near perfect race car. Tommy Baldwin telling Casey, think about your race car. We should pit sometime the next 15 laps.
Is really going away.
Looks like he's going to get trouble. Turn 2. Oh my goodness. Casey Kane, the race leader, has hit the wall.
My gosh. And we've got crashes off turn 4.
Sterling Marlin and Kyle Busch.
Yeah. Boom, there it goes.
Well,
Right front tire.
Right front tire.
Man, oh man. Matt.
BP, his cousin Cole, earlier said looked like something broke. Tommy asked him, tire or does something break? He says, tire.
What a heartbreak. Now, what happened off turn 4?
It was about a year and 3 months before he pulled off the win at the Rock last weekend. Now he's going to make it 2 in a row to bring down the 2003 season.
Oh, look at that. Is he on the last lap? The last lap, he must have a flat tire.
Bobby Labonte's by. Can you believe that? Elliott is off the pace. Never give up.
Watch out, Bill.
Fatback McSwain is going to get to do a victory dance for us. Last lap drama at Homestead. Bobby Labonte wins the Ford 400. It is never over till it's over.
I'm telling you, unbelievable.
Job wasn't quite enough.
And Ryan Newman, who at one point was nearly 2 laps down.
Uh-oh, look out, boys, got to fight for the lead here. Here comes Gordon on the bottom, the 24 car, they're side by side. 8 to go. Drag race, 24. He's out there. Look at the run that 39 car got. I mean, he ran up on some hard. He had to jump out of the gas 3 wide in 2. Oh, boy, here we go. This is going to be tight right here.
But they make it, and Stewart closes right up.
Oh, and a nice little bump draft down the back at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
You
Way
won't
to go.
see that in stepping the All-Star race. Newman all the way up against the wall. There's still 3 wide.
He's got him. He's got him. Oh, there we go.
Keep your foot in it.
Keep your foot in it.
Still
Keep your foot in it. Ah!
Pow.
How'd they go to home?
The fight for the $1 million between Kyle Busch, Jeff Gordon, and Ryan Newman was fantastic in the 2009 All-Star race. These 3 drivers were going at it side by side, banging doors down the front stretch, bump drafting down the back stretch, and this is peak NASCAR. But unfortunately for all three of them, neither one of them would win, as Tony Stewart would win the $1 million after this late caution in the race when Jeff Gordon got hit and spun into the grass and spun back into the outside wall, damaging his race car. But this was one of the most fantastic racing moments in NASCAR I've ever seen.